my friends, what's going on? This is Carolina Millan, and in the next 5 videos, I'm going to be making a little 5 video sequence for you where I want to discuss with you 5 actions, right, that you need to put into practice in your life in order to build confidence, okay? I want to discuss with you because I was rereading this book. I've talked to you about this book before, The Magic of Thinking Big, and I was reading it for the second time, which, by the way, every time you read a book that is really valuable for you, you should read more than once. Because it will be different the second time you read it, and the third time you read it, and the 4th time you read it. And even though it's going to be the same book, you are not the same person, and you are not in the same state of mind as you were the first time you were reading the book. So books that are key to your development as a successful person, you should read as many times as you can. Now, I know that sometimes we don't have as much time as we would like to read as many books as we would like, and I know that by experience. So that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm sharing with you some key passages from books that I read, so that I save you some time as well, right? That way you get, you know, the most valuable aspects from somebody who's reading it. Now, I'm going to start, well, with the first. In today's video, we'll talk about fear, okay? And fear, although some people will try to tell you that it doesn't exist, right? That fear is just in your mind. Well, fear is very real. Fear, and trust me, I am afraid all the time. Every day there is something I am afraid of, okay? And fear is so real that it has a physical impact in our bodies, and it usually causes us to, you know, freeze. You know, that's what happens to me usually. When I'm afraid of something, I freeze, you know. Other people, I don't know, they get anxious and they eat a lot or something. In my case, I suffer from inaction, you know, when I'm afraid of something. So, for example, you could be afraid of talking to someone, right? You could be afraid of talking to a friend. Maybe a friend got mad at you. Happens to me sometimes. I can piss my friends off, and then, you know, I don't know how to apologize, and then I'm afraid of talking to them. Well, fear, okay, has a cure though, and that's the good thing. And usually the cure is taking action. So if something is making you afraid, you know, and you're shaking, or you're nervous, or, you know, you're anxious, or you know, you start to feel panic, right? The best cure is to take that action that is causing you this fear. So for example, for us as entrepreneurs, sometimes we need to talk to people. Sometimes we need to talk to strangers, right? And if we do things right in our marketing, we are not strangers to them. They are strangers to us, right? So if you think about it that way, you should not be afraid, okay? If you're doing your marketing right, you're getting people to know you, like you, and trust you. The moment you have to pick up the phone or Skype or whatever to call this prospect, then, my friend, they already know who you are, so there's nothing to be afraid of, okay? So action is what cures fear. So what you need to do, right, is to identify the action, okay, that you need to take that will cure that fear. You know, it's just like a vaccine. You know, if you think about it, and I'm not a big fan of vaccines, you know, there's a lot of controversy, but this is just for this video that I'm using it as an example. A vaccine, usually what they do is they put the same virus or bacteria or whatever that causes the disease. That's what they do. Why? To develop antibodies in your body, so that when the disease attacks you, supposedly you'll have antibodies. Well, it's the same thing when you're afraid of taking some kind of action in your business. It is the same thing that you're afraid of that you're supposed to do to conquer that fear. So, my friend, every day when you're facing fear, identify that fear, and then identify the action that you should be taking. Okay, remember this. Action cures fear. And fear is not fake. Fear is not just in your mind, you know, it's a very real thing. But you can challenge it. You can beat it. And all it takes is that you identify exactly what is it that is causing you to be afraid, my friend, and just face it. To give you another example, maybe you are afraid of being successful. And a lot of people can be afraid of being successful because with success and money come a lot of responsibilities, right? Maybe you're afraid of those responsibilities. Maybe you prefer not to be in the limelight, right? Well, put yourself in that spot, you know? If you're afraid of being known for something, right? Or of getting too much attention, see what happens when you get people's attention. And just put yourself in a position where you get a lot of people to pay attention to you. One good example is doing a webinar. Maybe you're afraid of doing a webinar because you're afraid of what you're going to say, or you're afraid of what people are going to say about you, or you are afraid about your webinar not being good enough. You know, screw all that. Go schedule your first webinar. If you're watching this video, schedule your first webinar. You can do that for free. Just sign up for a trial account on gotowebinar.com. You may want to try other services, but that's probably the most reliable one. Set up your first webinar, and doesn't matter if 1 or 10 or 100 people show up, you go ahead and you do it. Okay, you prepare some slides, you think about something that you can talk about for at least a good half hour, and you do it. And then your second webinar, you'll see that it's not going to be that scary anymore. Well guys, thank you for watching today's video. I hope you're ready to face your fears, and in the next video we're going to talk about another aspect about, you know, fear and confidence. Let me tell you right now what it is that I'm going to cover in the next video, just so you guys are ready. We're gonna talk about your thoughts, okay? And how your thoughts have a huge impact in your daily life, okay? And what you should be doing about that. So thank you guys. If you like this video, make sure you leave a comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss the next videos. And if you're already subscribed, then I really value you as my subscriber. I hope you're getting value from my videos. Like the video as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like button if you think this was valuable for you. And make sure you share this video with other people that you think get some value. See you guys in the next video.